Welcome back to the OutCast Lures series. Today we are going to tour the wood shop. We're going to take a look at one of our plugs being manufactured, follow it from raw wood coming in as ballisters all the way through the cut, finish, and milling so it's ready to paint. Come on inside, let's take a walk around. Oh, who's a good boy? So we're inside the wood shop now. And there's our guy, Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Hey, doing good.
Excellent.
So here at OutCast, we'd like to show you a few of the things that we do in order to make our lures. It's pretty straightforward woodworking. Join us.
And here's the shop. Not as neat as Dan probably wants, but certainly effective and efficient. So why don't you tell us a little bit of the process that we go through with OutCast Lures?
All right, well, it starts out with blank wood, and we cut it into shorter pieces, and we use the Alaskan yellow cedar, and once we get it marked up and everything, we'll put it into lathe and we'll do some turning, smooth it out with some sanding, put in some side holes, and then we'll cut it down to size and send it over to the finish shop so they can paint it up and make it pretty.
Excellent. Let's take a look at some of those. Thanks.
So the center finder has two sides. One side is for rounds and the other side is for squares. Sometimes it's hard to see because it's translucent. But once you put it on, you go ahead and you make a mark and then you cross it and then you do the other side so that both ends have centers on them. And then after the centers are on, then I'll go ahead and I'll take a self-punching center puncher, and then I'll put it on the center and I'll put a dimple in it, and then that dimple will ride on the lathe. All right, so some of the basic tools we have an oscillating sander that will do the noses with. We've got a larger drill press for drilling vertically through the bodies when they're standing up. We've got a lathe dedicated to just sanding for finishing the exterior. We've got another drill press for shorter lures that need through holes vertically through them. Then the lathe, where we do the bulk of the work, which we have a template holder. It's a Vega duplicator, and so we are able to take templates, pop them in, and then we can repeat over and over again. Then all my miscellaneous tools over here. And then I've got two more smaller drill presses, and this is where we do the eye work and the belly hook holes and the sort of the decorative woodworking. But like I say, it all begins back here at the lathe. And so why don't we take a look at that? Okay, so this being a wood lathe, you can see that we get a lot of wood dust on it. The lathe itself is a jet lathe, and it's a Vega duplicator that's bolted onto the bed of the lathe. And from there, we just had to make adjustments so that it was straight and everything was set up. And once it's set, it's pretty much good. There are a few adjustments on the duplicator so that we could tighten things up, because from time to time things will loosen. And we just got to tighten them up and keep things in good working order. So the lathe, we've got a little shield on here because sometimes the wood will crack and pieces will come flying off. And so we've just got a little shield, and then the box around it is just to help with vacuuming up the dust so that you don't choke to death when you're making a fishing lure. In our case, I've built in a dead man switch. This allows me to, if at any time something's going on and flying around inside, I can simply take my foot off and it'll allow the lathe to turn off, and that way I can keep my hands out while it's shutting down. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the process of making a long caster box. do is we'll check the diameter on the ends and make sure that they correspond. So this one's just freshly turned. Now it's going to get sanded, and so we want it to come into the size of the master after it's sanded.
Yeah.
So
you want a little extra meat on there.
We want a little extra meat on the blank,
yeah,
so that we can sand it in. Center here. I'll put that on here. Make sure the drill is running true. Then on this side, this is going to be the long through hole here. But on this side, we're going to put in a larger hole to hold a weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drill just down to here, so that way if there's any mis-center, I can correct it before I drill out for the lead weight itself. So that way the hole should only be about this deep. And then when I go with my bigger drill, I can correct. So now, we're going to cut the end, and we're going to cut the nose, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and drill the So the laser shows me the line. Now that the fixture is set, the only thing I have to do is worry about the orientation between the belly hook, because we want to cut at the same side that the belly hook is. So I can put it in here. Now we can see the hole, nice and centered. Change out on the nose cut the 30-degree angle. The tail cut is going to be perpendicular to the body. And now we've established the length. Now we're ready to drill our weight hole in this end. I got into this hole. Now I'm going to go from this hole to that hole. And if this is spinning nice and true, then I know the holes are going to line up real nice. There we go. You can see the drill right in the center. And now there's a hole that goes all the way through. Belly hook and the nose are lined up. The eyes are perpendicular. So sanding was the final step before it goes over to the finish shop. And that's how we make a long caster.
All right, Dan, thanks so much for the tour. We'll see you guys all over at the paint shop.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, there you go. OutCast Lures long caster. The blank is all turned, sealed, ready for paint. In our next video, we're going to show you how we go from that to this. Pretty cool. Look forward to seeing you there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow us along. I'm Jeff Adams for OutCast Lures. We'll see you out on the water.